Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Disruption Talks, where we invite top experts to discuss digital acceleration, winning strategies, innovation, and scaling products. I'm Radek, Szeja. I'm engineering lead at Netguru, and I host today Tomasz Glowacki from Żabka Group. Tomasz, few words from you for intro. What do you do, and what's your role at Żabka Group?
Sure.
Just introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Tomasz Glowacki, and I'm head of data science at Żabka Group. So Żabka Group is Żabka stores, but also Nano, also Matchfit, and other companies. So within the group, I'm responsible for all data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence activities. And thank you very much, Radek, for invitation. I'm happy to be here. Netguru is also important partner for Żabka, so happy we can talk today.
Great. So you focus on data science, but before we jump into the details of your work, I have a question that I always ask, and I'm super curious about how people use AI on a daily basis at work. So what's your use case for AI? How do you use your AI in your daily work?
So you are asking not about the company, but myself in general, right?
Yes.
Okay, so definitely ChatGPT, definitely Midjourney. So when it comes to ChatGPT, multiple cases, but I like to write. I write research articles. I write essays. So this is the tool that helps me a lot. It is good to organize text, to make some brainstorming, to give some suggestions. And also this is good to understand the sentiment of the text, to summarize articles and so on. So this is something where I use it. But also this is great, this moment, analytical tools. So you can do many data analysis using ChatGPT. This is good. As a company, recently we are experimenting with Copilot. So this is good to summarize your emails. So when you are back from vacation, asking what is important in my hundreds of emails and so on. So this is also how I use it. But to summarize, this is large language models that you can use to text to pictures. So this is how I apply it.
Yeah, thanks. It's a lot of different but very interesting use cases. I personally, I use it also for many things, but personally I like to brainstorm with the tool. So it's like my sparring partner, let's say. I like try to be inspired by the discussions, maybe try to explore, ask some difficult questions, find my way to not just browsing internet overall, but just how we can narrow the topic and like go into the right answers. Exactly. So that's about me. And but you have also a background in engineering and in data science. Could you share some, your short story of your career, how you get there, where you are?
Okay.
Just a couple of words.
So my career path is not the typical like junior data scientist, senior manager, and now head. This is not the case. I was doing in my professional life multiple things. I did PhD in widely seen AI. It was bioinformatics, optimization methods, and so on. But PhD is important part to understand what I'm doing now, what my team is doing, and also to run research properly. So this is important part of this. I was also working in consulting companies like Accenture. So this is important part to understand my customers. When you I deal every day with stakeholders like directors and board members to understand their needs, to understand what they want. This consulting experience is really important. Another part is technical part. I was also working as a technical lead, BA Systems Applied Intelligence. So this is also important, dealing with bigger data and daily problems that data teams have. This is important. And the last part of this puzzle, I would say, is product companies. As a product, I understand the product that is driven by data has AI models. So today, data science is not just the model, but it's operationalization. Very often it's products, the long-term solutions. So having this background in data product is also important. So to summarize, I have a different puzzles. I was PhD. I was working at university doing my PhD. I was in product companies, in consulting companies. I was technical guy, but altogether brings me to the point that I understand the work. I can talk with stakeholders. I understand how products works, how to develop products, what we actually do, and this is how it looks like.
And now you're at the, let's say, upper management role at Żabka with an impact on the entire organization, and your focus is data science. How do you actually feel about it? How do you feel about impacting the entire organizations? Maybe tell us about what kind of challenges are you facing right now?
All right.
How do you handle them?
Okay. So you are actually asking, I feel you are asking about the impact. What I really like is it's 10,000, more than 10,000 stores in Poland, and we do shopping every day in Żabka. I do, my family do. So this is great when I approach the shop and I see the changes that was actually driven by data. So it's every day I see the impact of my work, and this is I enjoy it a lot. One of our models is to decide where to open the new store, and my 6 years old son often asks me, "Oh, that is a new shop. It's you help to open it." So this is how it looks like. Yeah? So I like the impact. I like the impact because this is the company that operates heavily in Poland, and I like to see this every day. But when you are asking me about the potential problems, how to deal with them, I would say I lead that central team of data science experts that help the whole company in the multiple areas. And we have I would say we have thousands of problems or maybe hundreds of problems, but we can only focus on tens of problems. Yes. So choosing what is more important is this important part of my job, and this is the challenge. So we need to select what we are focusing on. So this is how it looks like.
Okay, great. I think we will be talking. At least I would like to talk to you about this selection of what and how do you make these choices in a couple of minutes. One more thing I'm very interested is you're applying AI in various ways. Also, you said about your personal use cases, but I believe Żabka is like using the copilot you mentioned, for example, is one of the examples. But what other opportunities does AI offer for employees and overall organizations today? How do you feel about that?
Certainly. Let me start with the sentence that digital transformation is a really important part of company's strategy, and it includes AI, data science. So we are actually applying AI in almost all the aspects of how company works. So this is interesting, definitely. Would you like me to give some examples now?
Yeah, I think we can discuss briefly how employees can benefit from using AI
Okay.
at workplace. Yeah.
So I would say definitely it's a decision making. So improving decision making, like mentioned before, location planning model. So where to open the shop, we support this process by our machine learning model. But it is also the aspects like revenue forecasting. If you are operating the big company, you would like to understand how much revenue you can expect next month, next year. So this is also important to this decision making project. But what I'm talking is it's a big things, but it's also in every aspect of the shops. Let me give one example to show you how much we are digitalized. It's a baking model. So every shop every day gets the suggestion, gets the recommendation how many rolls to bake and what time of the day. So it's even such a decisions are data driven. So actually, when you have a look on this whole environment, it's about what to bake, how many of these roles. It's about how to organize work day for people who works in the stores. It's about logistics and organization of optimization of logistic processes. It's about internal processes, effectiveness of employees. It's about strategy decision, like mentioned, revenue forecasting. It's about decisions like where to open the shop, and many others. It's about personalization of the experience in the application. So I could name a lot of them. So to summarize, it's a and let me just summarize in the one sentence. In the last year, we were mentioned as the first company by Forbes who apply AI. So this shows how many aspects we are covering, but also nano shops where you can do shopping without without people in the process.
So it basically it touches every part of the company right now, and like from the top of the strategic positions to like the store staff who actually benefit from better decisions, and like they get the hints maybe, but they also get the actual schedule, for example, for this baking part, for the baking products, where to do how much, and like they're unable to probably do it on their own, and that's like reducing waste, for example. That's also it's like timely for the customers, so it's a ready product whenever it's needed. It's not like too long being baked, it's not too long sitting there waiting, so it's like super smart, and they're probably unable to do it on their own basically. So it's like it's a very nice example of how AI can help everyone in the company. But from all those examples, what do you think is the biggest opportunity that the companies like Żabka Group can face today and can solve, or like can find better solutions with AI?
I would say that the opportunity depends on the moment the company is, and we are very deeply in the data world. So the new opportunity in the last 2 years, since 2022, is definitely generative AI. So when ChatGPT was released, it opened the new possibilities for the companies, and this is definitely I wanted to ride the wave, and this is the aspects where we focus a lot during last year. And just to let you know, we have like a 10 deployments of Gen AI solutions, and we are hungry for more. But this is the opportunity where what I see for us, because we have many other aspects covered, and now it's just the new technology that gives you the new before not before not available opportunities. So Gen AI, to summarize it,
is the biggest opportunity. But what I also hear is that it also depends on the company's maturity. So different things should be applied at the different stages of the company maturity of AI adoption in general. But what do you think? Because I'm also looking as a generative AI as a more client customer facing part. Like it's like it generates something for the customers. It's also generating a lot of stuff that could be used internally. But as you mentioned in Midjourney, for example, I can imagine that you can use it for marketing campaigns or just maybe personalize more the information that the customers gets. Can we actually explore this topic, like of the customer experience, how AI influences or enhances the customer experience and the personalization
All right.
in retail in general?
All right. So the personalization in general, it's to tailoring experience for what the customer expects. And what is really interesting, I read a lot about personalization, and what is really interesting in retail, it's actually more than 70% of customers believe that it is must-have. It's not, the option anymore, but it's must-have. They expect that the experience is adjust for their needs. So if you have a look into the application, you have some advertisements, you have some recommendations, and they expect it's for them. So this is the first level of personalization. We go there. So this is the it's adjust to the person what is recommended for him or her. But it is also all the customer journey can be adjusted. So what you see, how you act with the application, what is shown to you and how it's shown to you, it's all personalized, and this is the expectation. But this is also, the research shows that good personalization can really impact the revenue for the companies, and it's really like two-digit number in percentage even for some companies. And this personalization, the personalization in general does not stop here, because there is something that it's called hyper personalization.
Yes.
Is a new trend. So hyper personalization, to simply speaking, I would say this is about applying large language models to personalize experience even more. So it means you receive the message that is tailored for you. You receive the pictures just for you, and so on and so on. So this is this hyper personalization level. We are touching a little bit this aspect as well. We have a application that is called Breakfast Recommender. So in Polish, śniadaniowiec. And this is the application that provide you suggestions according to your needs, what to eat for the breakfast. Like, okay, you have a specific diet, you have a specific needs, you like it, you don't like that, and it's all could be taken into account and can provide you the very specific recommendation what to eat for the breakfast. Yes, and this is also personalization. So it's about, to summarize, it's about how your journey with the application looks like. It's about your recommendation and suggestions. It's about also hyper personalization. So a message tailored for you, and that's the most important aspects of personalization.
Yeah, so basically what I hear is that you're making the entire experience with every part of Żabka to be more obviously personalized, but also to be more convenient for the customer. So I know Żabka has this, at least recently, has this like slogan that you want your customers to spend less time in your stores. Everyone wants
Release
to,
their time.
and
Exactly.
yeah, so everyone wants to keep us as long as possible in the stores, but you're the convenience store chain and you want to make everything simple and easy for customers. And I can now hear and see how the personalization, large language models, and AI in general impacts this and helps you actually decrease this time with the breakfast recommender and other things. It's super interesting, and but there's also like this hidden, invisible, let's say, to the customer part, like the supply chain, the demand forecasting, some efficiency on the logistics. I feel like I would like to hear about it a bit more. You already touched some points, but maybe we can discuss it a bit more and how AI optimize those topics.
All right. So yes, we do, shortly speaking. And now let me give some examples. First of all, it's demand forecasting. So it's prediction models, like how much of the item you should order to the shop. So this is first kind of models. So each store gets a recommendation about what should they order. It depends on them how much they follow it. But what we see, the more you follow, the better for business. Yes, so it means that this is the models works really well. So this is the first aspect. The other, I would say, is a supply forecasting. So demand forecasting is for the shops, and supply forecasting is more than for the centers. How much we as a company should buy. So this is another prediction models. So this is about prediction, but it is also the other aspect is optimization. So optimization is about the family of the TSP problems, and I really like it. It's a traveling salesman problem, which is part of my PhD. So this is about how to optimize the logistic, how to optimize how the cars goes and delivers the products. And this is optimization problems. Yes, so you have a many like tabu search, genetic algorithms, and so on and so on. So this is another aspect of all the logistic environment. So first of all, prediction. Second of all, optimization. And optimization is when and where you go, in which order, obviously. And another aspect, it's pretty interesting, is even in the center, logistic center, I would start with the problem that it's called knapsack problem for computer scientists. And it's also 3D knapsack problem. So this is in Polish problem plecakowy, which is how to organize items, how to put items into some place to cover as much of them as possible. So this is also the method that is used in logistics centers to understand what products in which order should go to the car. So this is also interesting. Yes. So far we have prediction, optimization, and also optimization for the car knapsack problem. But it's also something that mathematicians call flow problems. So flow problems is you have a network, so you have a graph, and you need to put through the graph a given something. In this case, you need to go with the product through the network. So organizing how to go with the products from centers to shops and to the points within. It's also interesting. This is the network problem, but also interesting part of network problems not only how to go through the network to optimize it, to minimize the number of centers, minimize the number of points, but it is also about how to develop the center. So where to put the new center to be optimal place, where to put the new point to be optimal. So this is all about logistics. So to summarize, I really like this field, as it covers as a business covers many different models, different approaches, going from prediction, optimization, knapsack problems, and also network flow problems. All together is really nice, and this is what we do.
It sounds complex, and it sounds like it really utilizes a lot of different data points. But it's like really, as you said, it's super interesting. It's a multi-level problem. It starts probably somewhere in the factories for the products, and like goes down to the customer. So it's like it is a chain basically. But what I really like, it's like it really increases the efficiency. It really optimizes how many products and optimizes the cost overall. But what it also optimizes is, for me at least, it's what is really for me and for customers. I believe it's also super important. I think they should hear about it. But it also reduces waste, and I think when you predict very well, you have efficient supply chain, you have an efficient the logistics, and the product goes fresh to the store. It reduces waste basically, and you have enough products on the store to sell. Not too much, not just too little. The waste is reduced basically, and that's super important today. And I think I would like to ask you, what are the other ways that AI contribute to more sustainable practices in general in retail industry today, or at least how it could be used in this way?
So it's not about could be, it's definitely how we do this. First of all, food waste, mentioned by you and mentioned by myself a few times during today's discussion. But food waste is, for instance, baking models. So baking models, I had a really interesting discussion about that at university. They asked me, all right, Tomek, so you mentioned years ago you were doing your PhD, and now you are more involved in baking models, and during your PhD you were working about cancer and so on. And I told them, all right, but the methodology is actually the same, but my findings from academia was put on the shelves, and here we have a really important impact. Because even if you let's do such a intellectual exercise, we have 10,000 shops, and even if the baking model would save a one roll per shop daily, so it's 10,000 rolls. So even if we talk about money, it's let's say 10,000 zlotych or something like that daily. So you can do a really simple exercise how much it's for the entire network. But also it's important for food waste. Yes, it's you potentially saving one roll daily. It's you are saving 10,000 rolls from food wasting. But it's not about one roll. Yes, the number, I will not give the exact number today, but it's a huge. So first of all, it's this baking models. Second of all, logistic itself, about demand and supply forecasting. goes to significant decrease of food waste. Yes, you deliver less, you predict better the demand and so on. So this is important, but this is also about focusing, because this algorithm focus, for instance, on fresh food. So the special attention goes to fresh food, so vegetables and so on. So customer is more happy, but food waste is also smaller. Yes, so food waste is important part of this. But apart from the food waste in general, which is a huge number of initiatives, this is also about, for instance, energy savings. So having the models, how to approach the energy, how much energy you need, actually goes to energy savings, which is really important also for the environment. So this is also sustainable practices. So this is how it looks like. So food waste is a really huge focus from the different aspects, but also energy savings and similar facts.
Yeah, and one thing I don't know if it's you can correct me obviously, but I'm not sure if you're doing it at Żabka, but probably yes, and probably in some stores, because I know you were experimenting a lot with not only formats but also different technologies and solutions in general on the stores. But I think like coming back to the food waste, once some certain product reaches the expiration date, you're probably able to know that, and you're probably able to decrease the price so it can be sold easier, and like it further reduces the food waste, because otherwise it would be thrown away basically. Is it like a case of today, or is it just right behind the corner because it requires by law, for example, it requires the pricing to be adjusted dynamically. It could be so the labels should be changed, but it's like the simplest way probably is to have this electronic labeling and around entire different systems. But how do you think about it?
So within the bigger umbrella of food waste initiatives in Żabka, one of them you mentioned already is management of the product's expiration date. So we could apply ML models to recommend when and what should be the discount to sell them. Yeah, so this is also something we approached and we experimented a lot. So this is many. Yeah, so you can I would say that we approached the huge idea of food waste, and we were looking for the aspects, problems and processes when we can apply it and decrease it. So it's not by the chance, it's a very deliberately done initiative in Żabka, looking for the aspects where we can apply some food waste. And one of them you also mentioned. So apart from what I said, it's also about discounts driven by data.
Okay, cool. Thank you for diving deeper into this topic. So far, we mentioned a lot of different areas where retailers can use AI, from single employee to the end customer, and through different like multi-level processes. But you mentioned on the very beginning that you have hundreds of such problems, and you can only you can only approach tens or several at the given moment in a given moment. So how does the head of data science at Żabka approaches the prioritization and creating the roadmap for AI implementation? How do you do it actually?
All right, so it's two different aspects. So starting from selecting problems. So we are a central team that supports many areas like sell, expansion, and so on, right? So they are our potential customers. Yeah, so they have their problems, they approach us, and we discuss. So in the last 2 years, when I joined Żabka, we went through the transformation. That first of all, I decided we are not anymore a group that delivers task. We are a business partner, and this business partnering means we are strongly involved in selecting tasks, but also what is also important, we also propose what we could do. So we so all together works like people approach us and they have their proposals. We discuss them, and we have a very transparent way of selecting the initiatives. To simply speaking, it's mostly about return on investments. Yes. So if I have
exactly.
if I have many potential problems, I would say I would focus on the ones that delivers the most PLNs. But it's important aspect. It's evaluation, so estimation how much money it will deliver. And the money aspect, it's not all. It's actually multi-dimensional model how we choose the problems we are focusing on, because it's also about money, but it's also about building skills for my team. So having two pretty similar problems, I would choose the one that is better participates to our development plans. It's about also understanding where is the most important areas for the company and why. So it's about the strategy of general the company have. It's about building visibility within the company and outside of the company. So if I have two pretty similar problems, but one of them is a new technology, Gen AI, and so on, and the other is something less interesting. So this is also the aspect how we select the problems. So this is the multidimensional, but as how I see my roles is, I would say, I often say that I am head of no data science. I'm the one who wants to stop many initiatives, and so I'm head of no data science. But I'm also gatekeeper for the value. Yeah, so head of no data science is not so. It's maybe not so sexy in the internal discussion, but I'm saying often I'm gatekeeper for the value. So I'm choosing the initiative that give the most value. But also, it's not only selecting the initiatives, but also proposing the initiatives. So we have three areas where the initiatives come from. First of all is stakeholders mentioned. Second of all is from myself. So I'm involved in discussion with strategic partners like Gartner and so on. I read a lot and I see, okay, in Asia, we have a deployment in such area. It works for this kind of retail company. Let's try in Poland. Yes. So this is how, this is the second source. And the third one is my team is deeply involved in data. They know the data the best in the company. So data driven, their observation come to really interesting areas. So for instance, just to give you just one very detailed example, one of team members were working with customer data and say that it's interesting patterns and we could have a look into fraud detection. And this was the bottom-up initiative. Let's have a look into fraud detection. And so to summarize, this is the three. It's me, it's the team, and it's stakeholders. Yes. So this is how we are selecting. What was the second part of the question, actually?
So I think we can. I think you answered it, and
Okay.
but I think you're the picture you draw is like it's a very solid basis of selecting what to do, what to not do, and this saying no is super important, I believe, because as you said, hundreds of problems. You can only tackle a small part. So it's super important, great insight.
Yes.
And but I think what I would be interested in is that definitely you mentioned those three areas on how you make those decisions, but some of them are I believe are some of them are bets. So basically, you need to experiment, and you may see some light at the end of the tunnel, but there is a certain experimentation to be involved and before you make a decision. So you need to realize whether it is even a feasible idea to implement or not. Do you do that? How do you do that? Can you just share some thoughts about it?
Sure. So definitely the very important area to experiment recently is generative AI. The reason is that in the, let's call it regular AI, we have a lot of references in the market. So when I approach demand forecasting system, I can have a look into literature, I can invite many consultants and so on and so on. But when we go into generative AI initiatives, then it's a greenfield. Very often we are the first ones, or maybe somebody is working somewhere but do not share the results so far. So we are in the situation that need to experiment, because I will give the example. So as a company, we need to store the information about product labels in the database. Yes, so you have a product, you have a water, you introduce new water, you need to put to the database information about what is inside and so on. So it used to be manual process. Then we involved a couple years ago OCR, but then it was a person. So the person was putting information to database, and we decided. So the idea for the project was we can use ChatGPT that will understand semantically what is in the data from OCR, and then we put it into database automatically. Idea is very simple, but you don't know how far you are able to go. Yes, so the area for experiment, which is really interesting in the Gen AI, is how good, I would say, how good metrics you are able to receive. So is it going to be enough good that you will that you are able to replace a manual work in this process, or it's you replace half of the work or whatever it is, and you don't know it. So what we really do very deeply in the last 2 years is experimenting with Gen AIs. So before we go to market with the solution, we experiment a lot to understand feasibility and understand the metrics you are able to deliver. I don't say about the metrics in the typical sense of understanding, like metric for ML problems, but I'm saying about business metrics. Yes, so how much we are able to replace the manual work. So here is a lot of experimentation, and actually a part of our strategy is it looks like we are identifying Gen AI initiative and we put to experiment, and in the same time we have like 3 up to 6 experiments we run, and among them 1 maybe 2 will give us really promising results. Then we go to implementation. So this is the experimentation we have, but also coming back to standard AI, let's call it, and ML. We also, it was mentioned when I talk about fraud, but we have bottom-up initiatives, and it requires our people to experiment. So we are applying innovation program. People can apply for their own problems and just deliver POCs. that something work. Yes, so I have idea. I work with personalization, but I see fraud detection is interesting aspect because I know the data. I go to my boss, discuss it, and we have some program that can cover it, and then you can work on your innovation initiative. So this is a big kind of experiment, and obviously also having a big standard. Having a big standard initiatives, we very often experiment to understand how far we are able to go with the standard metrics. So this is many aspects, but I really like this Gen AI, the new one.
Yeah, it's clearly the future, and as you said, that was well put. That this is a greenfield. It's like the standard AI is here, but the Gen AI is something that is quite new. Nobody that eagerly shares the results. That I know the company shares what they're doing, but they're not sharing how it performs actually at the end. So this is interesting, and that makes me think of how actually, because the Gen AI is advancing so much, and it's really the pace is quite nice right now. But how the company can, what the company can actually do to future-proof its business against this advancements in AI. I see that what you're doing as a head of data science and with your team is you're kind of in the right place, and where you are future-proof because you experiment, you have a lot of different sources of ideas and entire process on how to make decisions, what to implement. What would be your other advices on how to be future-proof for other companies?
All right. So first of all, experiment a lot. This is important. Second of all, be proactive, not reactive. And we are going to previous question. Build the roadmap. So, and as a roadmap, I understand the strategic roadmap. So what I'm doing here, we have a look from very high level on the whole company, and we try to understand. I try to understand where are opportunities, and this we organize these opportunities into the fields, into the big potential initiatives, and we try to understand how much money is there, how much opportunities is there. So we have this big picture. This is important. So it's not so for instance, I know that in this field the opportunities like this, in this field the opportunities like this. So also we did this exercise for Gen AI. I mentioned that we experiment, we are gathering initiative and we experiment, but we also have a big roadmap that says what could be done in Żabka Group in 5 years in this area, and what would if we do this, where we are. So this is important. So this is proactive approach. We are not waiting for the tasks, we are not waiting for single projects, but we know where we could go, we understand it. So this is also important. So experiment is important, but also knowing where you go is important. Understanding where is the market is important. Understanding what the other do is important. So this is
many aspects.
This is it. Yeah,
many aspects, and I hear it as if you want to be future proof, you need to sort of create your own future. Like you need to be proactive about it. That's my biggest takeaway, because otherwise it's really a follower type of situation, not like a leader of digital innovation. So yeah, definitely. Tomasz, I think this was my last one, the last question. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for accepting the invite and for the entire conversation. I was talking to Tomasz Glowacki, head of data science at Żabka Group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks one more time for the invitation, and have a good day.
Yes, thank you very much.